Okay, so I've been trading for roughly about 15 years now, and I've been perfecting the same strategy that you see me trade, especially those that are part of our Discord community and have been following the channel for for many months or many years now. Same strategy for the last 15 years, and it's basically broken down into just three simple steps, which I'm going to cover today. And if you're a beginner trader, someone out there that is just starting off, please, I want to say this right now: before you start putting your own capital and trying to open up your own brokerage account, or even paying into any prop firm, evaluation or challenge, trying to, get funded to where you can take payouts or withdrawals. I want to say this: learn how to trade, a system that actually works for you. And it don't have to be for me. I'm just telling you, find a strategy that actually works so that you can make money within this business, whether you want to do it part-time or full-time. But I know a lot of people are wanting or looking for something that is more permanent versus temporary, something that they can have more control of their own life and be able to, have a peace of mind and have some peace of mind and freedom versus, simply working around the clock, getting up, doing the same thing every single day, and it feels so redundant. You want a breather in life and have control of your life. And that's what trading has basically afforded me. I'm not saying it works for every person out there, but it's definitely something that I spent many years perfecting, and it's worked for me. So, first and foremost, when it comes to trading and how my style of trading is, I'm always trying to get the market direction correct. And that's simply just understanding market structure. That term is something that you'll always hear me stress, no matter the video content that I actually I make or the topic that I'm talking about. Now, all that is defining or identifying which way the market is actually moving. If we are constantly making where the market is breaking swings or breaking, lows that it just made and breaking through that area structure to the downside. So basically a breaking structure continuously to the upside or downside, and you find that the market is trending in any particular direction, then you want to trade in that same direction. And what I always do is start with what I like to classify as top-down analysis. Most of you know that is using a higher range chart. Yes, I don't trade time-based charts. I trade range charts, and they are not comparable or comparable to time-based charts. They are calculated totally different. Why do I trade them? Because it's simply cleaner to the eye, and they look so much better to me when it comes to trading. I don't have to worry about seeing, large, small, a variation of body size candles and long and short wicks, things of that nature. It just looks more cohesive and just looks cleaner to the eye to me on my charts. Now, I'm going to show you a quick example, like a trade today that you could have actually taken, simply following structure and identifying first and foremost the direction of the market. And then we'll break down those three simple steps that can help you become profitable and make money when it comes to trading futures. Look, the market over the last few days has been selling off, right? We're making lows, lower highs, pulling back, coming down, breaking structure, pulling back, breaking more structure, pulling back, breaking more structure. So each time we're making lower highs and lower lows, and the market is shifting. Say, for example, this was the last run that it made to the upside before it made a dump lower. Then once we start seeing when the market is making its first low, lower high, and then followed where it's breaking structure, and you've got a shift from where it was once bullish to being bearish, you only want to start looking for opportunities to trade short. Okay. Now, if you want to counter trend trade, that's fine, but you must need to understand and you must have experience to know how to do so. I will say that now. I don't do it too often because I prefer to trade with the overall direction of the market. Now, the market is moving lower. Okay. So I'm only interested in entertaining pullbacks to key areas of supply. That's what I trade, supply and demand. Okay. And I have a simple strategy in how I do it, using range-based charts. But again, figuring out structure is first and foremost the most important thing. So as the market is moving lower, this is a pullback to a key area of supply. This is a pullback to a key area of supply. It came down and broke more structure below these lows. This is a pullback to a key area of supply, and the market dumped. Each time it does that, I'm looking for pullbacks until the market shifts back around and starts making highs, highs, higher lows, and higher highs. Highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. I'm only looking for at that time opportunities to go long then. Okay. I'm keep pullbacks to areas of demand. I mentioned this earlier. If anyone watched the, well, no, unless you probably are in a ultra elite support of the channel, and I'll talk about that towards the end because that's where the cornerstone and blueprint to how I trade, because I break things down in private video content, which is very inexpensive for anyone out there. I don't offer a mentorship or a trading course, what I offer is video content and series of videos that where I go and break trades down. Because I believe that's the most important thing, is to understand why people are actually taking trade setups. So I break down the strategy, but I also talk about the trades I take. The same trades you see me take and post over on our Discord, I'll break them down. So I'll talk about those two tiers for anyone that's interested in becoming either an elite or an ultra elite. Very inexpensive, but that's where I explain how I personally trade and the strategy in great depth. Now, if we are bullish to the upside, I'm only looking for opportunities to go long, right? So highs, higher lows, highs, higher lows. So follow the path, follow the direction in which the market is, setting out or laying out for you. Okay, so this was a high, a pullback. It broke structure above these highs right here. And when it did that, here's a demand zone, here's a demand zone. I'd rather take this one right here because when I'm looking at this area right here, this is a bit of structure in comparison to this little, swing right here, okay? So to me, I would prefer to see the market come back to this area here because the market kind of rotated here. As you can see, look what happened here. It made lows. It tried each time to break lower and it didn't never close. So liquidity was stacked up here at this area here, or a floor area support, whatever you want to call it, was being, stacked right here. This is a typical sign where you'll see the market rejecting to push in a certain direction, either higher or lower. It rejected right here to push lower. So they bumped to the upside right here and took out the highs right here. So it rejected to push lower, a break of structure, versus this right here. This is a small little pullback and then it pushes higher, okay? This is where the energy kind of was created, the force was created to push that market higher. And eventually they come down here and they grab that area of liquidity. But right here, I'd prefer to take a trade off of this area right here, or this high probability demand area is right here, okay? Then where the market pushed up and then broke structure above these highs, resting right here after it rejected to push lower, then right here. So when the market got right here, comes back to this area of demand, I'm going to mark that up. You see that? That's a high probability demand. And if you do not understand the difference between low and high probability, I'll talk about that, especially to all those that are elite and ultra elite members or supporters of the channel that have that extra video content or access to that private community. That's where I talk about things like this to break it down in detail more so. This is a high probability setup because there's a gap resting back on this candle here at this actual zone. So I'll mark the other zone up first on my higher base chart. So that's step one, is I want to see where structure was being broken. A nice area structure, okay? Pushed up, pull back, broke structure here, okay? So then I'm looking for basically, all right, do we have a high probability setup just as well? Yes, it is high probability with a breaker structure right here, okay? Now, what's the second thing that I do? All right, so once I've marked that up, I got a high probability demand zone right here off the higher range. That's why I move down to basically the lower range chart, my 24 range entry chart. Let's go over to this area right quick. I'm going to show you the blue zone here. The larger one is that higher range, 120 range, demand zone. Okay. Once it taps into the zone, I'm looking for, the market to really show me some rejection that it's not wanting to push lower. Definitely pushing through the zone, like right here. The market came down, pull back, came down. Each time it attempted to try to break lower, it did not break lower. And then I want to see, so this is showing me a clear sign of rejection. And then I want to see where the market is breaking higher, meaning breaking structure, moving in the intended direction or same direction with the higher range chart. So if you see here, rejection, tap into the higher range chart, right? Zone first, right? Then we see rejection. Now what I want to see is a breaker structure pretty much taking me back in the same direction with the higher range chart. Up, high, down, higher low, higher high. Okay, now we got the breaker structure. I mark that off on my lower range chart. Okay, and I mark it in yellow. I like to key identify it as a different color than the larger 120 range zone. So now we got the zone kind of within the zone approach, meaning that the market tapped 120, the higher range zone, rejected, create a new zone where it's breaking structure on the 24 in the same direction as the higher range zone, the 120. Then I'm looking for, we've already covered step 1 and 2. Step 3, it pulls back to the actual new zone that was created after the breaker structure was happened on the 24 range chart, the entry chart, pulls back to it, looking to see if it's going to reject where it does not want to, basically break through the zone. So it pulls back to the actual demand area here on the 24 range. It rejects. You can either go long here at 421 or wait for the second confirmation when you get more bullish momentum at 23,425. So When I see that right there, I'm going long at that point, okay? And where am I going to aim for? This high to be taken out, but I'm also going to see if I can stay in the trade, longer as well. So I'm personally going to get in the trade here at 23,421, aiming for the take out the high here at 23,435. So that's giving me what, like 13, 14 points right there. That's a nice scalp off of a lower range chart, like a 24 range. Then where to place your stop loss? Stop loss is going to go on the back end, say right here, right? Okay, because this is the rejection point back at the 24 range demand zone. So I'll give myself a few points breathing room below 23,415. 415, and maybe down here to 412. Okay, that's what I'll put my stop at. All right, and then I'll let the market, run to the upside, take out, this area here. Once it runs the high or fills these gaps, it comes back to the upside, and then look for it to take out that most recent high that it made on the swing where it started breaking structure higher, right above here at 435. Then I'll close most of my positions or close all the trade out there at that point. Now, at that point, you can leave a trailing, a runner in the market, like one contract or whatever the case is, to see if you can capitalize on more. But when the market goes up here, it pulls back right here. So what I like to see is basically where it makes a new higher low, and then it breaks structure again, where it makes a new high above this high here. So then I would move my stop from here back to this area here. But it didn't do that. So what you can do is that if you start to see bearish momentum stepping into the market and you got your stop resting right here, then don't let price come back below the area where you got into the trade, meaning your break even point where you enter the trade at. If it starts to come back, at some point close the trade out so it doesn't go below, or start moving your stop up, basically lock in at break even once you've taken and closed out most of your position. Once it broke above this high right here, go ahead and move your stop to break even to lock your profit in, okay? Because if it comes back against you and you got one contract still running, then that way when it hits break even, you haven't lost anything. So hopefully that makes sense. But this is that 3-step process or simple steps that I actually look for when it comes to trading this style of supply and demand each and every day. Start with the higher range, mark up my zone, move down to a lower range, but I need to see the breaker structure happen on both charts, okay? Higher and lower range for me to want to take that trade, okay? Been trading the same strategy, just been, perfecting it over the years, and it works for me, and it allows me to become profitable and make money every single day in this business. Now, again, it's up to you to give it a try, give it a go. I would definitely recommend back testing and forward testing for anyone out there. And to all those that are part of the Discord, you guys have been, using using this strategy, or maybe putting your own twist on it, whatever the case is, and you already know a lot of you are passing evaluations. There's actually a testimonial channel on the Discord. The Discord is free to join. The link is down below. So what is the Discord there? Once you join, you can come over to the trading floor and join in with us on the trading floor. I post my trading entries there on trades I take, so as well as some of the other traders there. But it's a testimonial section there, or channel there, that clearly shows that people are, using the strategy and leaving comments and doing well with it. So that's the aim. That was the goal, to share what I know, knowledge base or information, because I believe knowledge is wealth, and that if you pass it along, it can help other individuals. But I know that not everybody's going to see things the same way, because maybe you use the trading strategies that don't work for you. You come from a different avenue. You pay for somebody's course. You're trying to merge too many things together. I'm telling you, I've been there, I've done that, and I'm not saying I pay for anybody's course. I haven't, but I've tried things that didn't work out, and I had to really cut it off, real quick. But that's where I had to go perfect something that worked for me. Outside of that, guys, that's really all I wanted to cover, was the actual strategy, in the sense of, showing you a simplistic setup that actually works in today's trading session, if you just spend time, looking for the right and taking quality setups. Now, if you want to become an elite member, an ultra elite member, okay, what is that? With the elite supporter group or tier, you receive the trade breakdowns. There's tons of those videos there where I break down the setups that I take. Like today, I did a live recorded trading session. I'll talk about that as well. But I do trade breakdowns a few times a week to where I break the setups down so that you can understand. That is probably the best thing to me, because it's kind of hands-on in a sense, or it's a visual way of being able to understand, what I'm trying to explain to you based on setups I've taken. So giving you real live versions of setups and breaking them down right in front of your eyes. So I go into detail talking about the setup, about structure, price action, where to place your stop loss, where to place your profit target, things of that nature, so you understand why I took those setups, okay? So you can look for similar setups when you're back testing and forward testing. Now, you also receive my what am I trying to say? The video playlist and the market structure video as well. You receive all that if you want to become an elite member. If you want to become an ultra elite supporter or member, you receive everything I just mentioned. Plus, you receive the live recorded trading sessions and the market recap videos. All right. The link is down below, right below the Discord link for anyone that wants to join. You click on it. Once you do that, give it a few seconds. You'll see a few tiers pop up. Once you click on or hover over the elite or ultra elite tier, you'll see, of course, the price there, but it'll let you know the perks and rewards you receive for each one of those tiers, okay? Again, the link is down in the description portion of the video. It's titled Ultra Elite Supporter. Click on it. You'll see the tiers that will pop up for you to choose, all right? Outside of that, guys, that's all I have. I appreciate you tuning in and watching today's video content. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so by clicking that sub button down below. Make sure to turn your post notifications on, and please do me the biggest favor and drop a like on the video by clicking that thumbs up button. Take care. I'll see everyone in the next trading video. Take care.